Hello and welcome to Back to the Boardroom. I'm James.
And I'm Greer.
And it is TV shopping week. What an interesting challenge that was.
Lots of interesting moments, as you say. I love this week because we get to see them a little bit nervous in front of the camera, and they always do some really silly things, so it's always a great one to watch.
Yes, but obviously stick around because we've got some interesting things to update you on in the Apprentice news. But firstly, let's get into the challenge. So, if you don't know, this challenge, TV selling, is all about the candidates have to select a range of products before then presenting and producing their selected slot on the TV shopping channel, which is TJC. And then obviously the winning team is who gets the most money. And a little change this year is everyone has to sell, whereas before it used to be half the team were in the production room, half the team were on screen, but now it all rotates, so everyone gets a turn to do everything.
And I actually really liked that idea. I think we will come on to it. It may have caused some problems with the edit, trying to fit everyone in. But I liked the fact that everybody was going to have to do that sort of scary on-camera selling. And this is the episode where Lord Sugar is joined by his grandson, Joe. And we get a bit of Gogglebox as well, which I really like. And it always makes me every year want Lord Sugar to be on Celebrity Gogglebox, because I just think he would slate all of the other TV shows.
I didn't know that was a thing.
What, Celebrity Gogglebox?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, you're missing out. You've got to go on Channel 4 and watch loads of episodes now.
Yeah, we'll get Lord Sugar on there.
Yes. So let's go through some of our top moments for this week. There are plenty. First of all, I do want to point out that there was a bit of rivalry for some project manager positions. Pasha and Karishma both wanted to be in the lead. Karishma says she has live video selling expertise, which she did sort of show off a little bit later with a mnemonic that she came up with for effective selling, which I don't know if everybody appreciated. But then the team went with Pasha in the end because she hadn't been project manager before and hadn't given it a go yet. And Baroness Brady said that's not a good enough reason, which I kind of agreed with. But Karishma has been in the lead quite a few times, or at least taken on quite a lot of the tasks. She's capable, but Pasha we've not seen that much of.
Yeah, exactly. So it was good. It was good she got a chance, but as Karen said, a bit not really strong enough reasoning there for the selection. But there we go.
Definitely. And then the other side, obviously, we had Connor put himself forward and Kieran really wanted to put himself forward too. Kieran hears sales and immediately is like, me, I want to do it. It's my task. So they had a bit of rivalry, which continued all the way through to the end as well. But I quite liked that sort of dynamic this week. I thought that was a bit of a top moment that went throughout the whole thing.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Not technically a top moment from me, but something I forgot to pick up on was Lord Sugar said TV shopping is £1 billion industry in the UK. And that surprised me because I thought it was a bit of a relic of the past.
Yes, I mean, I see the shopping sort of programs come up on the planner. I think it might be ITV or something. At some point in the evening it switches over to TV shopping, or early morning, but I've never watched it. I have never sat down, watched TV shopping and thought, you know what, I'm going to buy an item from there. But you do scroll on social media, there are live videos. They're usually so loud, bright, overstimulating, loads of offers, and they're usually selling tat. Sorry, so I haven't bought anything, but I can see why people do. You get like gripped into businesses and things. So yeah, I'm surprised, but there must be plenty of people out there buying from TV shopping. Back to some of our more traditional, I guess, quote top moments for me. One was Karishma when she was trying to work out what to choose out of the items, and she really wanted the Tanzanite ring. I thought it was just funny that she was saying back to the guy trying to convince her, do you want this or this? Correct me if I'm wrong, the royal family has a lot of Tanzanite, which I thought was weird. I mean, interesting bit of intel if that's true, but I just thought, what a funny, like, selling technique here.
I thought, well, the way the edit showed it, it was quite funny because it was literally Karishma and Lawrence doing all the talking and then just Rothaner and Dan in the background just sitting there politely, you know, watching the ping pong of the conversation.
So polite. But didn't then Dan, the man sort of said, does anybody have any questions? And Dan started talking. I don't know what he said, but it was more like, and everyone looked at him and he went, oh, actually, I don't have anything to say.
We're good.
We're good, actually. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I guess one of my top moments has got to be Pasha with the water flosser.
Yes.
And I kind of saw this coming, you know, when the product selection was made. I thought, you know, like I know that I don't have a water flosser myself, but I'm told they're pretty powerful. So there was going to be some moment there. Very interesting that they decided to get a bowl of spinach leaves, put something in the mouth, and then try and move it with water.
So weird. That's what I was going to say to you. I thought that, okay, the idea of putting something in your teeth was a bit odd, but why did she pick up like the biggest ball of spinach, shove it like under her gum, and then try and use the water flosser? Why didn't she just like break off a little bit of spinach and put it on her tooth if she really wanted to do that? Why was it so big?
I don't know, but it made good TV.
It did make great TV, and I think she was a bit embarrassed that it sort of spurted everywhere. One thing that I have to bring up is Levi, obviously, and his absolute dedication to the shoe dryer. Him selling was an absolute highlight for me. Lord Sugar thought it was diabolical, but I just thought it was hysterical. He mentioned athlete's foot. He put heels on the shoe dryer. He was smelling the shoes, saying, oh, it stinks, and putting it on. Very random, because actually a shoe dryer is not going to take the odour out. So I don't know why they kept talking about shoes smelling. And I also like that he used the word minging, which I haven't heard since about 2002. So that whole deal was great. I feel a bit sorry for him because he really backed that shoe dryer and then just couldn't effectively sell it. It was a bit rogue, but if he went down the like construction route, as he said, and he said the line, just from my experience of having wet feet, I've stepped in a lot of puddles, hilarious, go down that line. Why are we talking about athlete's foot? Come on.
Yeah, and on a similar note to presenting on that team, I liked Connor going all out on the sort of exercise item, and Dan just coming in and being a person in the background, and not, you know, the difference in energy was quite funny.
It was hilarious. And using that core workout machine, which looked really flimsy anyway, just you've got Connor sort of suited and booted in his waistcoat, his tie, he's got shiny shoes on, trying to do working out. No, disaster.
Yeah, exactly. But on the flip side, a positive moment, I think Dan did quite well. He was definitely out of his comfort zone, and Connor actually picked up on it, that he, you know, had a good go at it.
He really did. I did think Dan was pretty good. One thing I did want to ask you, out of some of the products that they did choose, we had the shoe dryer, the Tanzanite ring, bracelets, the water flosser, air purification headphones, table tennis, yoga mat, core workout. Not sure if I've forgotten any. Would you have actually bought any of those items? Probably not from the shopping channel, but if you were in an actual shop, would you have thought, oh, I'll actually buy one of those?
I'm just looking at all of the items. So none of Eclipse's. Well, you know, you may buy a yoga mat. That's probably the most likely to be bought in that side. Potentially a water flosser. The table tennis table set was too. I like playing on a proper table.
Yeah.
Bit of a snob there.
Table tennis purist. Yeah.
And I don't think I'd buy the noise cancelling headphones because I've seen them before, and they're just a waste of money because I don't need an air purification filter while listening to Beats.
to Beats. Now I know what you're listening to. Yeah, I agree. I thought possibly the only thing I would have bought was the water flosser. But they always find some ridiculous stuff, don't they, in those warehouses?
They do, yeah. They must be full of gems.
Tanzanite gems.
Indeed.
Now it is time for the most nerve-wracking part of Back to the Boardroom. It is our elevator pitch. Now, James and the independent adjudicator put together a task that's similar to what the contestants had to go through in this week's episode, and then give me and James a minute to complete it. So I'm assuming this week he's possibly going to make me sell something. What have you got for us this week, James?
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be 60 seconds of selling.
Oh, okay.
So what we've got is, as usual, let me just get my 2 pieces of paper, as you can see.
Nice.
We've got each piece of paper, I think, has 2 items. I believe one's low, one's high priced, hopefully from different areas. And you've got 30 seconds to sell each. So there's quite a lot of time pressure. I will be... Well, each of us will be giving each other cues from the gallery that you will edit out lovely post-production.
But trying to distract the other person in a way, I guess.
Exactly. So we probably got to include in there, ideally you want to include in there like a price drop, how many have sold, and like a shout out to someone who's bought it. So just so you've got a lot on your mind, like the idea is to overload and as well as like describe and sell the item, and we'll give each other cues when 30 seconds is up, because you can't sell the item after 30 seconds. Exactly.
Is this going to be so difficult? Okay, but at least you're going to make me go first as always. But then at least I can judge how much noise you put into my headphones for how mean I'm going to be back to you.
I mean, obviously the listeners won't get to see this, but I'm going to be quite nice.
Okay, all right. That's what he says. We'll wait and see when the timer's on.
The listeners will never know.
Well, I'm in charge of editing, so I can make it happen. If he's mean, you'll know, because I'll include a bit. Right, let's choose which bit of paper I want. I'm going to have to stick with the Old Faithful diagonal because it's difficult to describe otherwise.
Okay, the Old Faithful diagonal. Right,
okay.
So...
what am I going to get?
Okay, it looks like the independent adjudicator has not given 2 items.
That's fine. We can go with 1.
I think one piece of paper has got 2 and one has got 1.
That's fine. We can pick a random item.
I'm going to make up an item for you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Right, what do we have?
Right, okay, so... your first item is a heated blanket.
Ooh, okay.
Your second item is a foot spa.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Foot
so
spa.
we'll start with a heated blanket.
Okay.
Your 60 seconds starts now.
Hi everyone, welcome to the shopping channel. Today I've got a really fantastic product for you today. It's a heated blanket, nice, cozy and warm, something you can put on your bed to warm it up before you get in winter months. Also, you could sit on the sofa with the warm blanket and and so we've got a price drop. It's gone down from $25.99 to $20.99, so get calling in because this is perfect. It can help save you money on your energy bills if you heat yourself up. Okay, so we've also got a bit of a pricier item, but one that is luxurious. It is a foot spa. If you want to be watching the television and sitting on the sofa, you could also have a nice bit of spa relaxation in your living room. Put your feet in, enjoy the nice warm water. Somebody has bought it. Matt has bought a foot spa. Thank you so much for buying one today. $45.99. Final 5 seconds. Make sure you get your orders in because this is going to go quickly.
And time.
Excellent. Thank you so much to Matt for buying the foot spa. Wow, that's tough. I don't know why I said the heated blanket would save you on your energy bills for putting the heating on, because you're still plugging in the heated blanket, but whatever. There you go. Wow.
I was so focused on my cues and, doing the 30 seconds that I didn't listen to a word you said.
You're going to have to listen to Back to the Boardroom. James was actually very nice with what he was saying in my ears rather. Because when I was speaking, I kept seeing him wanting me to sort of stop talking so he could say his cue rather than talking over me. So very polite. I'll bear that in mind for your 60 seconds, which I'm going to get ready on the clock. The bit of paper is being opened. What do we have? Do we have 2 items?
No.
Okay.
It's so I've got a set of fine china teacups, saucers, and teapot.
Lovely.
So I guess it's technically a single item.
It is. And shall I just pick you a random
Go on,
item?
then.
Okay, let's quickly look around the house. A treadmill.
A treadmill. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 very different items. Okay, 60 seconds. Shall I push go? Yep. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, everyone. Well, you want this lovely fine china teacups, saucers, and teapot. 4 of each, so you can have a nice small tea party at only $49.99. Oh, there we go. The first sale. Andrea has bought one. It's dropping to £35. This fine bone china Royal Dalton. Final couple of seconds. We've got 3 people on the line. Okay, and now we've got the treadmill. Yes, this treadmill has at least 10 speed settings and is perfect for your in-house gym. We've got Tim on the line, and it's just price dropped from $159.99 to $125.99. 5 now people waiting on the line. Get it for your New Year workout resolution.
Time. Tough. This is a tough challenge. You did really well, though. I enjoyed Royal Dalton. Where did you pull that from?
I heard it. I heard it at least at some point in the last month and a half, and it just popped into my head.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
that. Hard
Do you know
to
the
switch.
hardest bit? Yeah, the hardest bit was I forgot. All I could think about was foot spa when I was thinking, when I was trying to switch. I was thinking, what was the item?
Yeah, that was tough. I liked it though. Very accurate pricing on the treadmill too. I enjoyed that. I was going $20.99 on a blanket. Who knows if that's accurate? But I thought as soon as you said it, I was like, he's been in the market for one of these. I can tell.
I don't know. I think that's quite cheap for a treadmill.
That's
I think there are a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe they have ranges. I've not looked.
Wow. I thought that was pretty good. I'm going to say it now. It's going to be hard for Lord Sugar, if he's listening, to call which one of us did a better selling. But if you want to let us know as well, you can tell James and I who you thought was the best at Back to the Boardroom on Instagram, or you can send us a voice note or message on WhatsApp to 07379 171 890. So shall we head back to the boardroom, because there has been a lot going on this week. I don't know whether we thought they were the right people to go out. I mean, I feel like I called one of them, maybe, from a rogue prediction last week. So we got in there, and obviously Connor's team was the one to lose. And so that meant that Connor, Levi and Kieran were the ones left in the boardroom. And I actually could have seen all of them going, really, for various different reasons. What did you think?
I just don't understand how Kieran's still in it. I really think he's used up all his lives. But I guess this is obviously make or break for him next time.
Do you have the final numbers for this week?
So this is the thing that I'm a bit suspect on. I'm sure I wrote the numbers down, but I don't think they add up, because I'm sure Connor's team, Eclipse, they said sold 18 items, and when they broke the numbers down, there was 6 yoga mats, no gym item, 3 shoe dryers and 3 bracelets, and that makes 12, not 18.
Okay.
Anyway, that came to 773.82. There wasn't so much of the breakdown I found on Pasha's team, Alpha, other than there was no rings sold and 28 table tennis sets sold. So they sold a total of 40 items, which was much more, for £893.60.
I mean, they actually sold more than I thought, or what the edit at least showed us. I was surprised they sold that many table tennis games. That was quite mad. I thought that was a rogue item, but there you go. And selling and I guess choosing the items was a big thing that they were discussing, mainly around Levi. he chose the shoe dryer, and Lord Sugar just thought his sales pitch and technique, as we said, talking about athlete's foot, but just his general manner selling was really not up to scratch. And he actually called him the worst person in the whole process, like the whole of The Apprentice, to do this task and sell on the shopping channel. I felt really bad for him because, I mean, it wasn't great, but there've been some really bad people on this task before. I thought it was very mean to say he was the worst.
Exactly. So yeah, quite harsh, but there we go. And he backed it up with some action, firing Levi straight away before any selection could be made.
Yeah, so that was surprising, but I guess he did need to go at some point, and we did have a bit of a hint that he might go this week too. But we also said that Kieran might go this week because he is a bit cheeky. He has pushed his luck a few times, and even in this bringing them back into the boardroom section, he was cheeky again, which, I mean, it's paid off because Lord Sugar was saying, you know, Kieran, not sure if I want to keep you in. And he said, you put me as project manager next week, and if I lose, we'll shake hands and I'll walk out straight away, which is very bold. But I actually think Lord Sugar really liked it. I think he thought it was kind of ballsy and, you know, making a deal out there. But then he turned it to Connor, and Connor was asked the same thing. Are you going to make a deal? And Connor was stuck with, well, no, I don't need to make a deal like that. I think I've proven myself. And I actually think that was the nail in the coffin for Connor. Even though Kieran was really cheeky, Connor didn't go along with it. And I think that made him stand out. And actually, Lord Sugar liked the boldness of Kieran there, and he kept him in another week.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do think Connor kind of stuck to his guns, which in a way I like. I wouldn't have, I don't know, I personally wouldn't have liked him to see him go, basically copy that just because it's what Kieran's done. Maybe that potentially was the better tactic, but yeah, I'm pleased he stuck to his guns because I think he has been quite strong in the process.
I would have liked to have seen him be in the process for longer. I did think he was a good candidate, but yeah, it's again, like we've spoken about several times, is it who shouts the loudest? If you're too quiet in the boardroom, or perhaps, I don't know, don't make a bit of a fight to keep yourself there, whether it's right or not, is Lord Sugar gonna keep you in? Indeed,
at the end of the day, it's Lord Sugar's decision.
Exactly. So yeah, Kieran is in for another week, and it'll be interesting to see in next week's task, where he's going to be project manager, whether he loses, and then we'll have to do the handshake and leave straight away.
Talk about someone who doesn't leave ever. The secretary.
She's stuck there.
I actually have nothing to report on this week. Sadly, I think it was similar tables, and she didn't actually get a very big part this week. I think we went to the secretary maybe once, maybe slightly more, but yeah, not too much of the secretary this week. And of course, brand watch. There were a lot of brands, but the one to note was the Dyson headphones because they were very clearly Dyson. And now that brings us on to my favourite part of the show. It's Apprentice News with Greer.
With me. So this week we have quite a lot to talk about. Before we get into perhaps the reason why the secretary wasn't on screen for a long time is because they had too much to show this week. And we will get on to talking about the edit. And several of the contestants have complained about how they've been portrayed this week. So we will talk about that. But first, something I don't know if you've seen, but there's a news story going around about Kieran and his time on The Apprentice. He spoke with The Sun. I know you've all made me go on The Sun again and ruined my algorithm, but at least it's not like James's, which is looking at hair transplants and skincare or whatever else. Mine's just The Sun. So this week, Kieran has actually got a tattoo based on this week's episode from The Apprentice. And now it's not just a small little fine line tattoo. Oh no, it's a big tattoo. It includes the Apprentice logo, 2026. It includes Lord Sugar, Baroness Brady, and Tim, as in drawn faces of them. And
all
then
on a yoga mat.
Yes, all on the yoga mat. No, sadly not.
No.
But it also includes what now he is deeming his catchphrase and perhaps his defining moment on the series, which he is saying, win or walk. And so that's his strategy for next week. If he wins, great. If he doesn't, he's got to walk straight away. But he has inked permanently on himself a tattoo, and it is 10 centimetres by 15 centimetres, which is quite big.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's large.
Fair enough. Each to their own.
Each to their own. So we've got to have to revisit this next week, because if he wins, that's going to be a fantastic, memento, I guess, from the series. But if he loses, he's just put a permanent reminder of the fact that he made a deal and it backfired onto his body. So does that sort of predict what's going to happen next week? Who knows? But he's very bold.
Yeah. Talking about predictions next week, I think it must be a double firing.
Oh.
Because I think we have 7 people remaining, and they wouldn't take 6 people to the interview. Or maybe they would, because it's the 20th edition.
Yeah.
But that's my quick addition to the news.
Rogue prediction. I like that. It's becoming a new part of Back to the Boardroom. So actually the bit that we've all been waiting to discuss, if you're a frequent social media user, you may have seen a couple of the candidates talking about how they feel this week has been unfairly edited and their prowess at selling has not been shown to the public. And that includes both Rothner and Karishma. And it was pretty interesting that they both have said that they sold items that weren't shown, but also they sold a lot and that wasn't shown either. So their actual contribution to the task, which might be why some of those numbers don't really make sense in the boardroom for you, James, because maybe they didn't include a lot of the sales of the items that weren't shown. Interesting, though, that they've come onto social media to call it out. Rothner is being quite direct, but Karishma, she seems quite fired up about it a little bit more, saying that, the BBC have censored her and that actually she can say what she likes on TikTok. And her video was her doing like her makeup for the day and also discussing how she was portrayed. But what was interesting, let's start with Rothner, because she said that she sold a mixer, which we never saw a mixer in the episode. And that was her main selling task. And she said that she did really well. But because it's a live shopping channel, there is evidence of these items being sold as live on the TV. So she edited some clips of her actually selling, or at least putting out for sale, the mixer. And I thought, well, this actually is quite good. I guess there's no interesting TV sort of moment. There's no funny thing that went on. She was actually doing pretty well. And I guess if you've put that much effort and you've come away from the task thinking, I did really well this week, and you've not been included, that's why you're probably going to get upset that you're not in the edit, because you've looked forward to seeing you excel on the TV.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't bad enough to be included.
It wasn't. And then Karishma as well, she was saying that she said a stat, it was like the main team sold about 800 and something pounds, and she said that she sold 600 and something of that, which is quite mad. I mean, excellent if that is 100% true, but yeah, that must be why some of the numbers are a little odd. Okay, it focused on her not selling the ring, which I think was a really hard thing to sell. And she actually said that in the video, like the people that run the shopping channel said that they would really struggle to actually sell that ring as well. So if you haven't seen those 2 videos, they are interesting. They add a little bit of context. They're on both TikTok and Instagram. I would recommend you having a watch because it gives you a bit more detail about the edit and what goes in and why. But what did you think, James? Did you think that they were wrong for not including it, or do you think it was just a case of tight timing if everybody had to sell and we needed the TV moments?
I think, it's kind of a bit of both, right? I would have been annoyed because I think it's good to get a good balance. You want to see candidates excelling. Obviously, yes, the main entertainment focus is the top moments, the blunders. But at the end of the day, someone's got to win, and it would be nice for more of those positive moments to be portrayed, even if, it's just like 30 seconds of screen time.
That is very
true.
So
a bit torn, really.
And do you think the fact that both Rothner and Karishma, they've come out and spoken about The Apprentice, it usually seems like the candidates who get to the end, they don't really speak about their time. So do you think they've kind of highlighted that perhaps Rothner and Karishma aren't in that winning final?
Oh, maybe some spoilers. Yeah, I don't know. Because they're two good candidates that I would like to see both in the final, to be honest. I hope that doesn't mean that, but it's now, you planted it in the back of my mind now.
Well, they're both great candidates. You know, we talk about them weekly, I think, about them being very strong. So, yeah, I hope that's not the case as well. But interesting that they've come out and shared some behind-the-scenes info for us.
So this week we did say we got something a bit special for you. Instead of our usual predictions or where are they now, we actually went on an adventure into London to visit the Anissa's Pizza, or Bombay Pizza, from last year. If you remembered, Anissa was one of the finalists, or the runner-up of last year's Apprentice.
Yeah, so James and I took a little day trip into London to try some of her pizzas. They're all Indian style or inspired pizza toppings, and here's how we got on.
Hello and welcome back to the Boardroom, live on location. We are in Camden at the moment trying out Bombay Pizza. That's Anissa from last year's Apprentice.
And I'm very excited. We've ordered 2 different flavours. Mine is the chicken tikka masala pizza with huge bits of chunky chicken, red onion and loads of cheese. And James, you've gone for something a little bit different.
Yeah, so I think it's called Khan's Keema. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's lamb mince, red onion, peas and mozzarella. So very much excited to try.
Yes, and we've also got some garlic dips, and the team here were kind enough to give us a little drink to wash things down with.
Cheers.
Cheers. So let's get trying. This one looks incredible. We're going to go with yours first,
yes,
because it's something completely different that neither of us have had before.
Very nice. And a good nice little kick at the end. I don't know if you're getting that.
God, that is probably the most flavoursome pizza I think I've ever had. I'm going to go in again.
Absolutely. The peas, I wasn't sold, but they work.
Yeah, it's not the overriding taste. The lamb is the best. The spices are incredible. And it's nice and cheesy. So, yeah, I'm a bit sad that I'm getting one slice of this one. Now it's time to go chicken tikka masala pizza. This one looks good. You've got to go for a bit that's got the chicken.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go for this one.
I'm going to go for this smaller part.
I feel like this is more of a normal pizza.
Yes.
That you... James, you're trying it again.
I don't think I know how to cut pizza.
Here you go.
Ooh, very nice.
Is it good? Okay.
More of a normal style pizza, whereas I think the one I chose was, I think,
completely different.
Base-wise, a bit different.
Yeah.
Less kick than the other one,
Yeah.
but still pretty good.
It's really good. The chicken chunks are really juicy, and it does taste like you're having actual curry. But I think if I was to come again and order, I would go for that lamb one.
So we have tried all of the pizza, I think, under the sun. Great day out, great flavours. I would highly recommend it, especially the lamb pizza that you got, James. That was my particular favourite. But thanks to everyone and the staff at Bombay Pizza for making us feel so welcome and for giving us our free drinks too. That was a really nice touch. If you do want to see our day instead of just hearing it, you can head over to Instagram and to YouTube, and we'll put the video there as well. Now, looking ahead to next week's episode, it's week 10 and something a bit different. They are being unleashed on the pet industry. They're going to be crafting campaigns and pitching for sales, and as the BBC says, great pun, in the boardroom, at least one candidate, it's walkies. Hilarious.
They had to do that.
They had to. So that's going to be a great episode next week. So we have completely dissected the online shopping task, and don't forget, we'll be back here same time next week talking about pets. James, do you have a final thought for us this week?
Yes, will Kieran come up trumps, or will he make a dog's dinner of next week's task?
Another great pun.
See you there. Bye.